Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away. ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation has been providing quality electric service at a competitive price to residential, commercial, and industrial customers in southeast Georgia and northeast Florida since 1939. For tips and advice on how to save electricity and stretch your energy dollars, call 1-800-262-5131 and speak to your marketing representative. We are a cooperative owned by those we serve.
Hey Indian fans, did you know you're eligible to join the United First Federal Credit Union? We are your hometown financial institution offering services such as online banking, mobile deposit, free checking, and much more. And if you're in the market to purchase a vehicle, our auto loan rates start as low as 2.99 for those who qualify. We are conveniently located at 3773 2nd Street South in Folkestone. Federally insured by NCUA and equal housing lender.
Good evening and welcome back to the Coach Mac Show. I'm Adam Bell from Charlton Sportsnet along with head coach Rich McCorder of the Charlton County Indians. Coach, we had a homecoming week last Saturday night. Hurricane bumped it over a day. They had some damage over on that side of the swamp. And our Wilcox asked to move it up a day, so we did that. Great turnout Friday night.
It really was. Saturday night. It's I tell you, it's really concerning for a coach when you get your kids out of a routine. And but the thing is, I knew that Wilcox was really out of the routine. A lot of those kids haven't had power and over there, and they haven't been at school hardly at all that last week. So I knew they'd been out of a routine. I knew we were out of a routine, and for us to have the Okefenokee parade in the morning with the players, and then I knew some of our players were. You kind of have that gap in between where you don't want to bring them in too early. We've been having playoff games on Saturdays for a long time and over Thanksgiving week and everything. And I think sometimes you can make a mistake by bringing kids in too early in the day. Yeah. So you just kind of hope that everything's going to be good and they're going to do the right things and get here ready to go. And I think everything went okay. For a coach, it's a little nerve-wracking, not having your kids where you can see them and be with them during the day. But again, I think it went okay during the day, and the kids showed up all on time for pregame meal. I want to thank the folks in the United Methodist Church and Dan Underwood for doing the devotional. The folks in the United Methodist Church did the pregame meal. And I really appreciate it because I know it was a busy day for them with the festival going on. But again, it was the day was good. Game started off really good, and then it seemed like, and this has happened before, we're up 20-0, and then that focus, you start losing that focus a little bit because things have went so good for you. You're up 20-0, and then they mount a comeback, and then right before halftime, you're up 20-14. And then the second half was really sloppy. I'll tell you, I'm personally embarrassed by the fact that we, had 19 penalties for 202 yards. We've never had that before, and people want to say, talk about the officiating. I'm not looking at the officiating, and I'm not making any excuses, because most of the penalties I saw when they happened, they were correct calls. I don't think the officiating was bad. Actually, I thought the officials did a good job keeping control of the game. Just really disappointed the fact that we had that many penalties for that many yards. We had 15-yarders, and I just really think it showed some lack of maturity on our part, and just lack of discipline as a team. And that's something I'm really disappointed about. That's something that's really, over the years, you didn't see that in Charlton County football teams. So it's something we addressed today, and it's something that we'll address from here on, because that's no way to have a football program or a football team to where you got to be dealing with things like that. And so, again, to the fans and supporters of our program, I'm not proud of that, and it's something that we're going to address and something we're going to get right. Because that's one thing we can correct. Either we'll correct that, or the person that committing all these penalties won't be on the field or in the program. So hopefully you'll see a difference in that this week. I felt like, Raekwon Anderson, huge game. I think 4 touchdowns,
4 TDs. Yep.
4 TDs. I think Michael Elliott had a good game running the football. Michael Elliott's really taking that on, and as a team leader, and also Trayvon Green. I think this is the second time this year Trayvon has led the team in tackles from the strong safety position. And Lance Carter, incredible young man, one of my all-time favorite Indians. Lance is just really being dominant on the defensive line, and does a great job for us. Again, offensively, we have not gotten in a position all year long to where we've been able to have great offensive output the entire football game. Against Irwin, our first drive, we looked outstanding, and from the rest of the game, not real good. This week, we put together, I think, several drives that ended up in touchdowns, but then also we have a 4th and a foot around midfield, and we got some big guys on the offensive line, and we got to believe that we can get a foot anywhere on the field. I think that's, if I was an offensive lineman and the coach sent out the punt team on 4th and a foot, I would be disappointed. I'd take it personally, and we had a 4th and a foot, and we couldn't get it, and that's really disappointing. So it's just we've got to be better. We've got to play better. We've got to execute better. We've got to do so many things better. I felt like special teams, one special team group would be really good, the other one not very good. I know our kickoff return, from the stands or even watching film, if you didn't know what we did all week in practice with our kickoff return unit, the work we put in, the time we put in, making it simple, and then you watch Friday night and everything went completely opposite. I guess the best words I can use is disappointing and frustrating. And I told our coaches, and I tell myself, I said, listen, I guess, before we blame the kids, let's blame ourselves. Obviously, we did spend a lot of time on it, and we didn't get the results we needed. So we got to go back as a coaching staff and say, what did we do wrong? Did we not cover it enough? Did we not do a good enough job teaching it? And we're just going to do a better job teaching it this week.
All right. Coach, I want to go back to the officiating, if you don't mind, for just a second, because up there in the press box, I can't hear, obviously, what you guys hear and see down on the field. So, you obviously saw what was going on the field, so you don't think it was a case. I thought it was a case of over-officiating, but those were legitimate. Legitimate?
I don't think it was. I think the officials did a good job. I really do. The penalties they threw, I saw a lot of them happen. And then, of course, we go back and we look at film all day. Yeah. This week, all day Sunday, and I looked at film a bunch today, and we have it marked on the computer where a penalty happens or anything happens. We have it marked. So I looked at all the plays that penalties were called on, and to be honest with you, I saw about every one of them.
Right.
And I don't think the officials had no choice but to throw flags on a lot of these penalties.
Sloppy play, I guess.
It really was. It was an undisciplined play. It was a sloppy play. I think, Wilcox, they had 17 penalties. We had 19 penalties. Our penalties were for 200 202 yards. Theirs were for, I think, 150 something, over 300 yards, almost 350 yards in penalties.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then again, it's I don't blame the officials. And the officials, I thought, did a good job of keeping the game under control. And everybody wants to, of course, everybody's a coach in the stands, and everybody wants to blame, the wrong person. That seems like so often.
I guess I'm guilty of that one.
Yeah, I think so often in our society we tend to blame everybody but ourselves, first of all. And I told the kids at halftime, I told them after the game, and I told them all day today. I said, listen, I don't want to hear nobody say the word the officials did this. I think the officials did a good job. I think it was all on us. It was poor coaching, poor playing, poor preparation, poor discipline. That's where the problem was. I mean, and I don't hear much from the stands, but I heard the junk, the officials this, the officials that.
Yeah, I'm guilty of a little bit of that, Coach.
I think we're blaming the wrong people. The focus needs to be on us as coaches, and players as players.
I think this is the first time I've been chewed out on the Coach Mack show.
It's not. You're not being chewed out.
You're fine. I had it coming. If I'm in the wrong, I want to know about it, just like one of your players.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. You want to head on to the? You want to hit some stats or head on to
either
the
one?
Highlights?
Either one. Whatever you have there, we'll go to that.
Highlights.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Raquan, obviously you mentioned it earlier, he had a huge night, 4 TDs, all rushing on the ground. This is his first one. Up close, I think from about 3 yards out.
A lot of these plays right here, today I showed the offensive line. I said, I took a handful of really bad offensive plays, and I took a handful of really good offensive plays, and I said, let's go ahead and give you a plus or minus on each play, all 5 of you offensive linemen. And the plays that weren't bad, we would have 4, sometimes 5 minuses, meaning all 5 of the offensive linemen maybe missed their block or got whipped or didn't execute their block. And the end result was a bad play. And then I took these plays like that touchdown right there, and I showed them, and we graded them, and we'd have 4 to 5 pluses. 4 to 5 pluses where they executed and did their job, and you have huge plays. And what I tried to explain to them was, as a unit, as a group, if we'll execute our plays, we know the plays. We haven't changed our plays since July. We're running the same stuff. We're blocking it the same way. The only thing we have to adjust is our attitude, our mentality, our toughness. We have to adjust our chin strap maybe, tighten it up a little bit, and get after folks. So, like that play right there, that's our heavy set, and we threw a couple of D linemen out there, and one of them, Lance Carter, who we talked about, Lance really came off the football and created a big hole there, and of course Raquan did his thing and did a great job scoring on that one.
All right. This is the next one, Coach. Same thing. Raquan again, this time from about 13 yards out. This was a nice block on the edge to free him up when they come around. Can you see that, Coach?
Yeah, I can see it just fine. Yeah, it's a great block there by number 17, Keyshawn Williamson. I mean, it's blocking in space is not easy. It's hard. We work on it every day. We have a block period every day. For our wide receivers, and that is a really, really good job by Keyshawn Williamson, a senior. So often, wide receivers judge their play simply on how many balls they catch. But what we do is, like right here, Keyshawn would get a huge plus and would be called out in front of the team right here. Is a great job by Keyshawn throwing the key block for that touchdown.
Yeah, I was watching too, Michael coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, Michael has a good lead block, and the thing that Michael does right there is he passes on the person that needs to be passed on, meaning that I know that this guy does not have the angle for the play, so I can go to the next level, and he does that right there, and he throws a good enough block that really helps spring it also. So that's really good job. 2 hardest blocks there is blocking for running backs and blocking for wide receivers, and both those guys did a great job right there. And I thought that Keyshawn had a really good game, blocking on the perimeter.
This is the Raquan's number 3 TD. This is in the second quarter still with 11 minutes. There he is right there from about 35 yards out.
And right here, a great job blocking by Keyshawn again, but a great job blocking by the offensive line. That's one of them I put up on the big screen today for the offensive line. I went position to position, starting at left tackle all the way over to right tackle, and every one of them got a grade of a plus, which, you either have a plus or a minus.
Right.
Each one of them, we had five pluses on that play. So right there, you look at the offensive line, you say, hey, the result of this play is you guys. And every one of you did a great job blocking, and even the sniffer back, which would be the sixth offensive lineman for us, did a great job. And, of course, again, can't say enough about the job Keyshawn did blocking right there.
Who was that pulled? Was that us?
That is number 55. That's Khalil Burrows. Khalil's pulling and kicking the end. He has he has his head on the inside, which is where it needs to be. Again, I cannot say enough. If I was to show somebody the proper way to block that play, that'd be the play I'd use, because all 5 offensive linemen got to where they're supposed to be, got the guy they're supposed to get, and did everything perfect. And the end result's a touchdown right there. I mean, we're saying, yeah, that's Raekwon's touchdown, but really that's the offensive line and Keyshawn Williams' touchdown right there.
This is number 4 for Raekwon. He had a huge night. This is from about 12 yards out.
And again, another one of those plays where, both wide receivers, 22 and 3 are great downfield blocks. The offensive line, this is another one where just about every offensive lineman graded out as a plus. It's a great play, great blocking right there by 22. Brantley Sloan, great block by him, or Mr. CCHS.
Yeah, homecoming king.
Yeah, I didn't know we even had one of them, but I guess he's that. But again, that's when we execute, we're really pretty good. And it's just getting our guys to understand that every play matters, every play you have a job, and every play you need to execute. And to get them to understand that and to do it, that's where, again, that word frustration comes in, is because you look at the film and you say that we have no excuse whatsoever not to execute like this every play. And it's just getting those guys to do it. And I don't know. It's just, it feels like sometimes we're still on week 1 with this, and we should be so much further along in the season.
All right, this is the final touchdown of the night for the Tribe. It's Michael Elliott.
Again, Michael Elliott ran the ball very, very hard. Really did a great job. And again, right there, it's a similar play to what we saw when Raekwon ran the ball. Again, great block by Brantley Sloan. A great block by Khalil Burrows, a sophomore, 6 foot, 3 or 4, 300-some pound defensive lineman, and just really good job by all of our offensive linemen. It's just, again, we execute, good things happen.
Yep.
Good things happen.
All right, Coach. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll do our senior spotlight.
Okay.
We'll be right back on the Coach Mack Show. 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need bumper to bumper for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Miss Joe, Pam, Little Sammy, Stephen, Dylan, and Big Sammy himself. It's Folkestone Auto Supply.
Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics, located at 3885 Main Street in the heart of downtown Folkestone. They're Folkestone's original hometown pharmacy with 49 years serving the community. They have everything you need, including household items, prescription medications, high-tech electronics, and much more. Their experienced and friendly staff in the pharmacy and electronics department are ready to serve you. Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sports. Go Indians! Gant AC Heat and Electric, located at 141 West Love Street in Folkestone, Georgia. They service all makes and models of air conditioning and heating units, electric and plumbing supplies, blown installation, appliance parts and service, as well as sheet metal products. Gant is a proud sponsor of the Charlton Sports Network, Go Indians, and the Band of Pride. Whistle & Dixie Custom Framing and Unique Gifts and Cafe is located at 3742 Main Street in downtown Folkestone, Georgia. Lunches are served on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come join the fun food and fellowship whether you're a local, tourist, or a Royal fan. We also serve Bluebell ice cream, coffees, and lattes. While dining, feel free to browse around as we also have custom framing, train art, custom t-shirts, and unique gifts. Looking for a real lodging? You can also stay at the Chessy Caboose or the Peaks Cabin. Come see us.
Welcome back to the Coach Mac Show. It's our senior spotlight segment with Blake Taylor and Tommy Layden.
I tell you, two great ones right there. You know, Blake Taylor, he's been a guy that's been in this program. You know, I can remember Blake all the way back in first grade with my daughter's, my youngest daughter, Hagen, is in this class. This is her senior class, and I can remember Blake when he was in the first grade. They had some birthday party or something. He was doing the worm on the floor and everything. I'll never forget that, and I'll never forget him growing up. And you know, just what a neat kid. And you know, he's an important part of our football team. He really is. He's that guy in practice. He's always positive. He's always taking reps and working and everything. And you know, in high school football, so often it's kind of like us sitting there talking about Raekwon's touchdowns and this and that. So often it's the other guys that really need to hear it and need the spotlight. And I'll tell you, I'm glad that, you know, we're talking about Blake Taylor because he is a fantastic young man and he's going to do really well in life. I really believe that. And I coached his dad. His dad was a really good football player for me, and Nick, and so I've known Blake probably since he's been real little, and probably all the way back to the Miss Marcia days, you know, the play school probably. But he's a wonderful kid, and I tell you, every time I see him, I just kind of smile because what a great personality and what a good young man, and somebody that really has worked hard, and we would, you know, we'd love for all of our players to get the amount of time on the field they want, but it always don't work out that way. But I tell you, he's a big part of our football team, and I do appreciate him.
All right.
And Tommy Layden is a kid that came to us, I think, 2 years ago, played B team, and he's really found his spot at right offensive tackle. You know, he's 6'3", 205 pounds, and you don't look that big, but he does a really good job. He's very aggressive, very physical guy, and he's a kid that he's already signed up with the Marines, I believe.
Really?
Which I really commend those guys that do that because they've made a decision that's going to be a positive decision for the rest of their life, and it's a mature decision. But Tommy does a really good job for us at that offensive tackle spot, and you'll see him. He probably at times will grade out maybe the most consistent of our offensive linemen during the course of the game. But again, those are two great seniors right there, two guys that we definitely love in our program, and we'll miss them after this year.
I know we're graduating a lot of young men this year.
We really are. This is a huge senior class, about 20 kids, and so many of them play crucial positions. You know, I know we'll talk about down the road, but you know, for those people that want to think about football after this year, you know, we really on offense have 3 kids coming back and 2 or 3 coming back on defense, so there's going to be a lot of positions open for these underclassmen to work for.
Congratulations, Blake and Tommy. You guys are our senior spotlight this week on Telfair County Week. Coach, let's jump into Telfair County. They're struggling a little bit this year, 2-5, I believe.
Well, they lost some good senior football players from a year ago, but they are very, very well coached. As good a well-coached football team as we see every year. Coach Burleson's been there now for quite some time, has a great strength program, very disciplined, good football team. Their scheme is extremely sound, run a lot of really good things. They always have athletes, they always have speed, and number 16, number 28, those guys are big, strong, fast runners, and I think we've seen a lot of that. Last week, number 3, you know, a 6 foot, 210-pound running back. We're seeing some big backs and very, very athletic guys. Offensive line is big and sound and really good. Their defensive line, I think their D-line as a group could be as good as maybe arguably the best in our region. It's a really good defensive line. So I think I look at them and I see some of us in them and us being the offense that they run and what they do on defense. A lot of the same things. Even on special teams, the punt formation is the same as ours. So I see a lot of similarities in it.
Mirror team.
Really are. But I'll tell you what, the size of their skilled kids is what really impresses me. You look at us, we have, and I won't call no names, but we have a starting wide receiver that's 5'7", 145 pounds, and another wide receiver, defensive back, 5'6", 140 pounds. So we got some small guys out there we have to play with. Now, a team like Telfair, all their kids are really big, strong, physical football players, which really gives us a tough time. And our Telfair, McRae, Georgia has always been a tough place for us to play. We've had a lot of times when we go up there, we've been beat up there, and there's been times we've been up there and we just can't get it going for whatever reason. And I know that's a big concern for us this year. It's something we addressed today about we have to travel well. We need to have a good week, a good day Friday, good travel up there, and show up ready to play from the get-go. If not, this team is more than good enough to beat us. Right now, if somebody would ask me, listener, you think you're favored, not favored? I'd say it's a dead draw right now. What I see from them and what I see from us and our inconsistencies, especially, I think this thing's going to be a dead draw right now, and we're going to have to show up to play. If we don't, we can easily get beaten this one.
What do you? I know they lost their senior quarterback. It seemed like he was there forever.
Blankenship, what a great football player. But they've got a lot of really good football players. The quarterback they have now, he's a different kind of quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. He can run the ball well enough. He scores touchdowns, run the ball, but he's really a good thrower and he runs the offense so well. So. He's a good player. He's a good football player. But them running backs, wide receivers, offensive line, defensive line, DBs are all very, very big, physical, solid football players. And again, people that have followed us know that playing up there is, playing on the road at different places can be tough. I mean, it seems like just about everywhere we all say the same thing. Well, Charlton's a tough place to play. Well, we sit here and we say, well, Clinch and Osceola and McRae and Ashburn, all these places are tough places to play. Anytime you load up a bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids on a bus and you're on the road for 2 hours, you don't. That's a long ride. Sometimes you don't always arrive with the same kid you left with. So you got to wonder where the focus is sometimes. So it's a concern being on the road, such a big football game. Hopefully we can get off the bus and get focused and play well.
All right. I know it's a big win. Obviously, every game in this region is a big win, or a big game, rather. We need a big win. But right now, I saw the power rankings this afternoon. I know you don't like to talk too much about the rankings, but they lead to the playoffs.
That's right.
Right now, we're ranked number 9. So we need.
And that's a good place. That's a good place to be. And I don't know if we can. The Clinch County game is a whole nother animal. They're a lot like Irwin, but this is a huge game for us, and then the last game, Lanier's a huge game for us, and I could see us, if we're successful, that's if we're successful, kind of hanging out in that spot. I don't know if we can get to that 8th spot because you start filling up the top with region champions. So there may be somebody below you that's going to be a region champion. Irregardless of their power rankings, they're going to go up to the top. They go up, and that'll bump you down. But anywhere from 9 to 16, you're going to host the first game.
Okay.
So, we got a little room to fall, but you can fall pretty quick.
We don't want to fall.
We really don't want to fall. If you were to slide in the top 8, you get the bye week and the home game and possibly a second home game. So a top 8 spot would be good. But really, I looked at the same thing you looked at, and we need to look at them. We need to know what's going on in the power rankings. It's what really runs this thing. I've seen people there's some people like Macon County that are out of the top 24. If you're not in the top 24, you don't make the playoffs. But I know that Macon County can beat more than half that top 24.
Yeah.
So again, just because you're ranked 24, 25, 26, 24, 23, 22, anywhere in there, you can beat still anybody on that board. So just because if we were a 9 and we played a 24, that's the way it would match up. Us playing a 24 at 9, there's teams down there that I think are probably better than we are. So that don't mean that, hey, you got an easy first round game, by no means. Not in this state, not in this classification.
Not in this state, definitely.
Not in this playoffs.
All right, Coach. Anything going on fundraiser wise? I know with the homecoming, everything can kind of wind down there.
No, I think what we got going on Thursday, our B team hits the road. We go to Pierce County Thursday for a B team game.
Oh, okay.
So we're still playing B team football. We're going to play B team football all the way to the last Thursday of the season. So we got that group has gotten a little smaller and gotten a little banged up, but we're going to have a group. We're going to take up to Blackshear and let them play some football and get better. So they're looking for their first win. Our B team hasn't. I don't even know if it came close yet. We've been getting beat pretty bad on that level, but we got some good players, and they're working hard in practice, and they deserve their own game and Thursday. And we don't get wrapped up into the wins and losses and B team. We get concerned more with are we getting better, or is that group getting better each and every week? Because that group will be what we're going to see on Friday night next year. And so we're going to the Blackshear. Hopefully we have some people go there, parents especially, travel up there, and Friday we'll leave early and eat on the road. It's that's something the quarterback club's going to help us do, hopefully, and have a good day Friday and get ready for another week of region football.
I know it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great game. We're going to have it live. I understand. I had a message from another broadcaster that Telfair's got a new visitor side press box.
Okay.
So we're going to break that in for them. We're excited about it. They always treat us great every time we go up there anyway. It doesn't matter football, softball, baseball. They always treat CSN right.
At Telfair, you talk about other sports. Telfair is a very, very solid, complete athletic program.
Yeah.
Baseball, softball, basketball, all of them, boys and girls sports. It's a solid program up there. They're state level contenders in just about everything they do.
Oh, speaking of solid program, I failed to mention the maidens. They went to the playoffs last week. Didn't turn out how they wanted to, but still they had a great run. Yeah,
making the playoffs, on this point system is not easy.
No.
Anytime you make the playoffs in this point system, it's really good. And I tell you, I've said it and I'll say it again. Coach Baxter does an incredible job. It was a real pleasure him coaching our daughter, and he did a great job in the past. And he runs a great program, and he puts in the time now. He puts in the hours, and Coach Marksman helps with softball, and the job he does in baseball is nothing short of incredible also. We have some guys and ladies that do a great job coaching our sports, and I'll tell you what, as a parent and as a coach and somebody who's lived in this community now for 31 years, I don't know if they hear it enough. What a good job and how much we appreciate him. I know AJ ran track, and those guys spend a lot of time out there, and they travel with them and take them all sorts of places. And People like Coach Pender and Coach Woods, they got young families. And a lot of days they're going to spend more time with our kids than they will their own kids. And they're to be commended for that. They really are.
Yeah, there's a lot of unsung heroes around here.
There really are. And I tell you, I got a really great coaching staff. They do a great job, and it's not easy. We're not going to complain about our job because we thank God, the good Lord, that we have them, and we wouldn't want to be doing anything else other than coaching football in Charlton County. And I tell you, they put the time in, they put the work in. I do appreciate them.
And we appreciate y'all too. Despite some of us who may turn into a coach in the stands every once in a while, you have to ignore that, I guess.
That's all right. You pay your $8. I guess you can say what you want to say. You didn't even pay your $8 though, but that's all right. No, that's fine. It's we all do. On Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I'll watch college football, and sometimes I find myself wondering what they're doing. But it's you think about in football, coaches always say this. We're trying to make a living with 16, 17-year-old young men making split-second decisions on a field in front of 1,000 people. So it can get difficult at times. But I tell you what, it's my 30+ years of coaching high school football has been it's been a real blessing, and I really don't think I'd trade it for anything.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate it as usual. We'll see you. I don't know if I'll be able to make the Blackshear, but we'll see you definitely Friday night in Telfair County.
Hopefully we have a nice crowd show up and get loud for the kids. The kids really do appreciate it. I'm telling you, I over the years I've been able to zone out everything but what's going on the field, but our kids, our defense especially, the band got going and the officials came over and said the band's got to quiet down, and he only meant the instruments. He didn't mean stomping your feet and your noisemakers and all that. And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it when the official comes over and says, "Coach, the band's got to stop playing." And I tell the official every time, I said, "You're probably going to wish they were still playing, because you tell them to stop, they're going to make more noise than they were playing." So, and we appreciate that warpath at the end, the fourth quarter, and that sort of thing. Our kids, that's what makes Friday night football so special, is the band and the cheerleaders and the fans and the parents and everything going on. It's a one of a kind atmosphere. It's an atmosphere that you don't have. I've had a lot of players play college football, and they'll tell you, and AJ may tell you, it's still not the same as a Friday night, especially right here in the swamp, playing with guys you played rec football with and junior high football and that sort of thing. So the crowd, you're a big part of it. The band is a huge part of it, along with the cheerleaders, and we do appreciate everybody.
I think we have the only band that's actually had a flag thrown on them. They had one thrown on them last year.
And if we got a good lead, there's nothing wrong with that. They need a penalty every so often. That's good.
Make sure the scoreboard's locked.
Yeah, make sure it's not a close game. But I mean.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll see you Friday night. I appreciate it.
Look forward to it.
All right. Thank y'all for watching the Coach Mack Show.